Hey everyone, Kilted here. Look, I had somebody over on my TikTok page actually ask me what type of grease I'm using on M1 Garands and M1 carbines. Whoa, this is my new camera, so I do apologize. It's got an autofocus thing, so I'm still trying to work that out. But anyways, what I told them, and I'll tell y'all here, is this is what I use, right? Plain and simple. It's good stuff. Just a dab will do you, and I'm going to demonstrate that here in a minute. In fact, I bought 2 jugs of these like three and a half years ago, and I'm about halfway through this tub. Yeah, and they do have expiration dates, so I have until 2025 to finish both of these jugs. I doubt that's going to happen, but we'll see. So what I do, of course, this is my M1 carbine, right? I have not lubed her up, okay? But we are empty, no magazine, nothing in the chamber, so on and so forth. Now, what you can do is you can fully disassemble these guns, right? And get in here and lube it all up and clean it and that kind of thing. That's perfectly fine, okay? But honestly, when it comes to doing a quick lube job on this, I don't really see the point in taking it all apart. Now, of course, if she's dirty, you've been out shooting it, it's been sitting in a closet, whatever, and she's dirty, of course, take her apart, clean her up really well, so on and so forth. So what we're going to be greasing is, hold on, this has got a zoom. Let me see if I can figure it out with the remote here. Maybe not. Might help if I actually read the instruction manual, but that's not going to happen. So we've got a groove right here, right in front of my hand that the op rod runs in, right? That's one thing that we are going to lubricate. What we're also going to lubricate is on the inside, right up in here, okay? Where this lug over here, wrong hand, over here runs off of, right? So when you pull this back, you see that it drops down, right? And it's got a little track that it runs in. So those are the 2 areas that we are going to lubricate. That's it. What I do is get a handy dandy Q-tip, and I just go boop, that much. Right? Autofocus. Right? You just barely see some on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that Q-tip and run it right inside of that channel. Back and forth, right? And now I don't know how well you're going to see it because it is thin, but you see it's got a little bit more shine to it than what it used to. Okay? Do not get a big old gob of it and run in here like this, right? And go, oh yeah, that they're good. Oh, that good, right? Because more mean better, right? No, okay? So now I got to clean all this out the best that I can. Because when you apply this stuff, it really and truly just needs to be a very thin layer. I'm going to pause this and clean this out right fast. Okay, so I got all that cleaned out, right? Then what we're going to do is very simple. You're just going to pull the charging handle back, and all of them have the button right here, right, that coincides with the cutout right here. So you're going to pull it all the way back, and you'll feel it fall in, okay? It's really simple. Then what we're going to do, once again, get another clean Q-tip, dab just a little bit. I need a little bit more than that, not that much. Oh, Jesus. Right? We got a little bit on there. Yep, there we go. And I'm just going to apply it to the inside rail, very lightly, very gently, so on and so forth. You don't want buildup. Once again, do not have any buildup. Okay? And one last place that I'll actually sit here and grease, because I'm going to try to show that I got the rail in there done, right? You can see it's a little shiny. Another area that I'll actually do is the top of the bolt here. Now on this bolt you see it scalloped out, right? Some are left completely round, okay? But the area that I want to hit is right there on the back of the bolt. So I've still got a lot of grease on this one that I used to sit here and show you, hey, don't grease like this. So I'm just going to put just a little bit there, right? That was a little much. Okay, now you see, come on, focus right here. Thank you. There's a little bit of a build-up there, right? But what you're going to do is you're just going to sit here and work the action. And then wipe off the excess. And that's pretty much it. Now, if I had this gun completely disassembled and was going to clean it, everything else, I'll lube it before I put it back together. And instead of doing this last little bit here, what I would actually do is put a thin layer back here on the receiver. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this one up, and I'm going to go grab my M1 Garand, and I'll go ahead and show y'all how to do that as well. So, okay, so now we're going to sit here and work on the M1 Garand, right? Okay, and this is really a lot of the same things, right? So you're going to grease this rail, you're going to grease the inner rail, right? And you're also, instead of doing like what I said on the M1 carbine, which you can sometimes get away with, right? I'm going to send that bolt home, and you're going to grease all right down through here, just a thin layer. Okay, now something else that I do, and I recommend people doing, but they don't always do it, is right here on the underside of the barrel. Okay, you can sit here and see when I pull back the op rod that the op rod and spring and all that fun jazz is rubbing right across here. So what I always recommend is, once again, take a Q-tip, right? Get a little bit of grease on it and just put in a thin layer right underneath there, okay? Because another good way to sit here and tell where stuff needs to be greased, especially on these older firearms, is look at where there is wear, okay? So if there is finish getting moved off of it, then that's a good indication that, hey, you need some lubrication there. Alright, so that's pretty much it with the receiver. Now, something else I will also do is sit here and do the trigger group. Okay? So you let your hammer down very gently, very softly, just not to damage anything. Alright, I'm going to spin it around this way. Okay? So I will put a drop of oil right here on this pivot pin. Right? Focus on this. I don't think I like this camera. I'm going to keep playing with it, so I am sorry. Right? And what I also do is put just a little bit of grease. Come on. Thank you. Actually, back here on this back plate. Okay? Because you can see right up here where there's wear. Once again, where there's wear, it needs grease. So I'm just going to put a little dab in there. Right? Nothing big, nothing major. Then I'm going to send the hammer home again and get back behind there. Okay? Now, everything else I'm going to tell you is if it pivots, right, then it needs oil. Okay? The spring, you can put a drop of oil in the spring here, and that'll be about it. Okay? But if it pivots, okay, like there's my safety, right? So it pivots. I'm greasing. Your trigger guard here, which, trigger guard, pivots. That's where you're going to put oil. It's really not difficult with this. A lot of people think that it is, when it's really and truly not. Now, if something that you're interested in seeing is me doing a full takedown of the M1 Garand or the M1 carbine, let me know. I'll try to set that up and schedule it and that kind of thing. And I'm trying to sit here and talk while also putting in this trigger guard. And of course, it's not going to let me my brain's not going to let me multitask today. So, anyways, this has just been a really short, simple, easy to follow video with very little tools. Okay, the only tools you need is your grease and some Q-tips. Okay, if you want to go deeper into that, once again, just let me know. Okay, and I will do my absolute best on doing a detailed video with different camera angles and that kind of thing. That's why I bought this camera, is so I can actually pick it up and move it to where I need it to be. A lot easier than just using my old cell phone, right? So anyways, I hope this helps. Y'all have a good one.